Even though we here at Grandpa's Kitchen are moving to a more heart-healthy and diabetic-friendly diet, please understand that we are not experts in the health industry. So before taking any of our recipes or product recommendations to heart, make sure that it doesn't rail against your diet that has already been established. And if you're uncertain, please see your healthcare provider. Any type of changes in your diet could cause health complications and or death. So cook smart and eat smart. Welcome to Grandpa's Kitchen, starring Grandpa, Cousin Cletus, Cousin Elmo, and your host, J. Bob. And hi, welcome to Grandpa's Kitchen. I'm your country cousin and host, J. Bob. That's spelled J. Parrot, B-O-B. Hi, and welcome back. Did you miss us? We missed you. I'm so excited I can do a happy dance.
I've been known to cut a little rug in my day.
It's my Jim Dandy.
Jim Dandy to the rescue. Jim Dandy to the rescue. Jim Dandy to the rescue.
Go Jim Dandy. Go
I hope you saw that the first time because there will be no repeat performance. Woo! Good night. Wore me out now. Well, while I get my thoughts about me, how about a word from our sponsor? Look, the pretty stars. Today's episode brought to you by Tipsy Toddler Baby Food. Yes, Tipsy Toddler, with our brand new flavor, fermented carrots. All of our baby food has 4% alcohol per jar. So the next time your little bundle of joy is screaming like a banshee and refuses to go to sleep, feed them some Tipsy Toddler Baby Food and bring back the nighty-night sleep tight. Brought to you by the good folks at Gagamall Industries. It's 11. What can I say? Anyhow, today, well, if you're watching us today on YouTube and you like what you see, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell icon for future updates. And why not, while you're at it, share us on your Facebook or Twitter or Instagrammy and get the word spread out about if you enjoy this show. Okay, let's just cut to the chase right on to cooking. Today, we're going to do something that most of us who are diabetic and have heart problems cannot have. You could do it mostly for the diabetes, if anything. But we found a way to get the carbs down. How about chicken pot pie? Now, what makes it such a high carb meal is the crust. We found a keto hack that will help reduce the carbs. And if you cook things in the proper fashion, like when it comes to meat, make sure to trim off fat and grill, bake, or broil to get more fat off. That way you're not ingesting it and clogging up your arteries. That ain't no good, all right? So, really, with no further ado, let's get cooking. All right, now let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is you got to do a little prep work, like, okay, you got to grill up your chicken and get it shredded. We've already done it. It was two little tiny breasts and a thigh to get some dark meat in there. And you got to boil one potato that's real small, diced up, all right? So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to first add this cream of mushroom and roasted garlic. Normally, I wouldn't have done with the roasted garlic, but this is all I have. Now, hold on a second. I got to grab something real quick, and I'll be right back. Me and forgetting the milk. All right. So first, we got to get some utensils. Open up that can of creamy mushroom soup. You can smell the garlic on it. I'm going to take a regular tablespoon. I got the new puppy blues. He's playing with Buddy. Okay, here we go. And we're going to put that in our bowl. Get all of it. I love how it just sticks to the sides and refuses to come out. Come out there, critter. Yes, sir. And get that right in. Now, a lot of people will say, well, don't you want to use cream of chicken? Well, you can, but we find it's better with cream of mushroom. But if you want to use cream of chicken, that's cool. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to fill this can that we just got the soup out of. Not quite halfway, but because this stuff can get real thick and we need to thin it down a bit. All right, get that can out of the way. Now I'm going to get some seasoning. If I can find it. Wouldn't you know it's hiding on me. Well, good night. Where's it at? You know I'm videotaping here. This is called you don't have your stuff. Here we are. Well, one of the main seasonings I'm going to use, and probably I would recommend it, just thyme leaves. That's always a chicken booster right there. And I'm just going to sprinkle some in. I think we're out, so we're not going to have a whole lot of time in there. That tucks. Now, if you want to do this next step, that's going to depend on your health complications. You could try to put in maybe some chicken bouillon. Now, this is a powder, but if you're real salt sensitive, I wouldn't do it because this is going to add a lot of sodium. That's up to you. I'm not going to put it in on this. I'm going to see if the chicken will do it enough on its own. But maybe later on we'll give it a try. If we do, we'll let you know. All right. Now, we got to get this all mixed in and start getting this thinned down because that soup gets thicker and thick. But we don't want to thin it down too much. All right. Now let's put the rest of the fixings in. You know, I thought I had everything here. I just remembered I forgot something else. Not a problem. We got it. All right. Now, what I got in here is an 8-ounce can of peas and carrots, 1 small tater diced and boiled, and a small can of mushrooms. We're going to add that all in. We're going to add in some fresh diced onions. Now, if you want to soften them up first, that's perfectly okay. And then, of course, our chicken. All right, now just get that all mixed together, which will take a little bit of time, not too long. You just want to get everything good and soaking wet. Ooh, it's smelling good. This might be off the hook. Yes, sir. Now, we got that all mixed up. Now, this is an experiment, so it may not go as planned, but we'll give it our best shot. Going to do this real quick. I'm going to put the milk up, and I got to get something else going. Got to melt the butter. All right. Now, here's the funny part. We want a low-carb crust for this. Normally, you couldn't use a regular pie crust because it'd be too much. But we have found this is what made it such a great idea was Mission Carb Balance flour tortilla shells are going to be our crust. 4 grams of carbs per wrap. Now, that's pretty low. So what we're going to do, let me see if I got another one. A little more rounder. That'll work. And we're going to just put that down into our pan and try to mold it as best you can to the pan. I might have made too much stuff. Well, it's the first time out. If I got a little extra, we might have to figure out something else with it. And now we're just going to fill it up with all our goodies. And just keep putting it in. I don't know, I might be able to get it all in there. I'm going to try. Of course, who don't like a good thick pie? Ah, yeah. We got it. Now, it's a little bit much, I know. If you wanted to, you could use like that. I believe it's called veg oil. It has carrots, peas, and taters. And you could just do it that way. I like doing it this way, but that's me. And wouldn't you know, I don't have my knife. Good Lord, I'm not prepared for nothing. All right. Now, we're going to take this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and do the courtesy. Put some slices in it. Just like you would do a pie crust so it can vent out moisture. Bring this back over, and we're going to place it on top. Might even tuck it in a bit. Now, I'm using Smart Balance butter, and I'm just going to brush it on as I pour it on. Woo! Poured it a little too fast. Might have got too much. That's all right. And just brush it around. Now, I did fail to tell you, you need to preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And we're going to try, I'm going to unfold that. That looks weird. And I'm going to go ahead and bake this at 400 for about 20 minutes and see how it goes. If I need to alter the time, we'll come back to it. So we'll see after it comes out of the oven, just like this. All right. Now we're back. It went 25 minutes at 400 degrees. You're trying to get it golden brown if you can. And a thing I failed to mention was that you need to grease your pan before you do everything, and I don't think I did. That's the reason why you watch all the video, y'all. That way, if I have to make a correction, I can. Now, before I serve this up and eat, I'll just show you, my blood sugar is at 99, and in 2 hours, we're going to take it again after we eat, and I'll show you my results of how many carbs are really here. On average, I believe it got around 40, so 1/4 of this pie is just 10 carbs. So we'll be back in a little bit, just like this. All right, now I kind of wanted to show this off. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the bottom part of the crust to cut, so it didn't come out, but my goodness, whoo, look at that. So we're going to eat this, and we'll be right back. All right, now I cut the pie into 4 slices, and I had 2, so that's half the pie. So we're going to check out my bloody sugar once I get this thing going. And once we see our results, we'll go from there. Should be low. 106. So I went up only 7 points. That's really good. And we'll go down to the wrap up, and this meal is... Okay, that was some scrumptious pie. I think it could have used the chicken bouillon, but then again, that's going to be up to you and how you like your health. Career provider has set up your diet. Make sure not to rail against it. Even if we do suggest something, make sure it squares up and do your due diligence before you cook and eat it. Don't want to give you something bad, all right? So with all that said, now the thing that really messed up, you saw how the crust on the bottom part didn't cut real well. Well, next time J-Bob needs to sharpen the knife. Oh, well, I have my moments. But the crust came out really good. I was kind of shocked. With as much filling in there, it may have needed another tortilla or another flour tortilla in the middle to give it a little bit more strength. Because, you know, the weight, those flour tortilla wraps are not the strongest. But as far as cutting, just make sure your knife is sharp. Other than that, it was really scrumptious. All right. Giving a big old shout out to Steve O's Music Madness and wearing one of his new shirts. Great show. Check him out on I think it's Barcord Entertainment, or you can see him on Wild Dogs Radio. And with any further ado, future episodes, we're probably going to do more with flour tortilla wraps. We did an episode where we made a pizza using it, and it works really well. But these days, they got a lot more versatility, so don't be surprised the next episode or two we're doing more on the Mission Carb Balance flour tortilla wraps. All right? But until then, to all of you out there, we give you a big O!
Salute!
Brought to you by Low IQ Production.